Amazing discovery on the planet Mars. Mount Olympus and perfect geometry. Artificial construction is no coincidence. This is what some researchers claim, and I'll leave a link below to the Google Mars. You can see the area and the various types of geometry that are found with these very high mountainous elevations. And they believe that this is no coincidence. This, for some reason, was constructed this special way. These formations constructed a fascinating geological geometry found on Mars. The mounts Olympus, Pavonis, Arcia, and Ascraeus form an almost perfect triangle on its surface. So can these four characteristic points reveal to us a possible artificial geological formation on the surface of the red planet? These volcanoes are located in the Tharsis region on Mars and are collectively known as the Tharsis Montes, and they form the so-called Tharsis Square. Interestingly, and particularly important, is the fact that the three volcanoes of Tharsis Montes are evenly distributed over a distance of about 700 kilometers, counting from peak to peak, in a line oriented southwest-northwest. The alignment, the base of the triangle, is rather unlikely to be coincidental. As you can see here in these NASA images, the elevation of the Mars surface. It certainly seems to be constructed. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. But this is not where the coincidence stops. It also goes to the nearby crater northeast of Olympus Mons, into the bigger crater there, the Tantalus Fossae. Now, the alignment is the base of the triangle is rather likely to be coincidental, unless all this proves that Mother Nature on Mars is much more artistic than the human imagination, which in this case paradoxically can be calculated. In addition, several smaller volcanic centers northeast of Tharsis Montes are within a single line. The three volcanoes, and especially Arcia Mons, also have all features and collapse faults from which they are expressed laterally and shift along the same northeast-southwest trend. The line clearly represents an important structural feature of the planet, but its origin is, of course, not certain. How did this happen? That's the big question. Mr. Camacho, who manages Mundo Desconocido España, and I'll leave a link to his, even though you don't understand, it's very explicit because it's basically measurements, explains, and I'll leave a link to the video, explains in his video his long investigation into the peculiar features and important geological features of Mars, which he says are one of the best examples that there is something much more on the red planet than what we have been told and are being told. In fact, Mr. Camacho explains that Mount Olympus, the largest of tallest volcano of our solar system, and the other three, he suggests, have been artificially placed in their current locations and could be results of an advanced civilization that inhabited Mars in the unknown and distant past. Now we know that Mars, from the Emerald Tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean, was one of the places where the exiled generals of the Atlanteans were to live, and then after their death they were to be buried there. And one of the top generals who was exiled in Mars was supposedly buried under what looked like a face on Mars, and the others were near the pyramid complex near that face. And we know that very, very well-known image from NASA concerning the face on Mars and the pyramids next to it. Now, how is this possible when it was written thousands of years ago on the emerald tablets? And you'll find a list of that playlist. I've read them for you, and you can hear the playlist. They have tremendous information about their very advanced technology in interstellar flight and also interdimensional travel. But going back to this, Camacho claims that the U.S. Space Agency, NASA, is aware of all these events because it has sent some of its missions to the areas of Mars. In the areas, there are oversized collisions. But Camacho argues that in addition to the above, there is another important feature on the surface of the red planet that deserves attention. Mount Alba. As if we draw a line from Mount Olympus to Alba, we will find another complex connection. What is revealed then in the imaginary union of the peaks of Olympus, Alba, and Ascraeus is another almost same fascinating triangle with almost identical angles. And finally, he claims that the distance between the three aforementioned mountains on Mars is estimated to be about 1,700 kilometers. And not only that, but to further support his claims, Camacho recalls that both the volcanoes in question and Mars Olympus are called Tharsis Well for the simple reason that they are on average about 33,000 feet above the average altitude of the planet. In other words, it suggested that the Tharsis area could be an elevated base. Very interesting. What do you think about this? Mary's amazing discoveries on the Mars surface. I'll leave a link below for you for the Mars maps, Google Mars maps, and also the video link, and you can watch it and enjoy it yourself. Please tell me what you think. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Thank you for your support.